What's going on, people? How are we doing? What's up? Hope everyone is well. So we just got a few things to go over this morning. Nothing too crazy. Now today we are looking for some new pairs to mark up. Get some music on actually while we're looking. Okay, don't know what's going on here. Okay. Right, so we're just going to make a couple of adjustments here. Gonna put. There we go. Cool. Right. So remember how we've been calling short on all of the USD secondary pairs for, I think, best part of a month now. We've been blasting through our targets consistently. We still have some targets here on GU. But we've also been doing the opposite on USHEF, which is giving high targets and giving low entries. And the same thing's been happening. We've been blasting through these as well. So the same principle here is giving consistent return on bias on a weekly and daily principle. Now, you know that we're able to do this because we use the same simplistic system every time we enter the market. Now, based off of that principle, I highly recommend you guys going and checking out the videos where we teach you exactly what it is that we're doing. Now, of course, it's not compulsory. You don't have to. But I honestly would love to see how you guys get on when you test the principles yourself. It is Wednesday already somehow. We also had a couple of crazy entry triggers yesterday that didn't tap back into the point we wanted to go long from. This being one of them. We called the long from here and price came. I thought, oh, it's going to come back down, tap us. No, it just kept going. And we also had GJ that gave an entry here, and I was like, oh yeah, cool, it's going to tap us back in. No, it just blasted to the upside. The other one that we gave out was GA. Look at that. Come on. That's crazy. That's coming up to the higher time frame targets now, and we're looking for it to run through all of those highs. So we can go back to the 4 hour here. We can refine the same principle, but it's going to mean price action coming way back down into the lows, which we do not expect to happen. We still have a couple of pairs that could offer entries today. These are still the targets here. Highlight these as targets. Mark these as target highs. And these can be low target or low entry points. Remember guys, if you are watching this live stream right now, there is no music, so make sure you give yourself a bit of music in the background if you prefer to have it. Of course, if you don't, then you can just listen to the sweet tones of my voice. So I'm just gonna send this out to the Discord crew. So today, guys, we are going to be hosting a session inside of the Discord for VIPs only. Now, this is going to be a session based around the flexibility of bias, the flexibility of any trade scenario and principle. I'm just going to get this. Clean. Okay, so just going to set some alerts on these targets here. Cool. So I would love to see some of you guys showing me what your markups are, etc. You can do that in the Discord. Shortmaster, what's going on, brother? I'm doing great, thank you. Took a nice trade on AU not too long ago. Beautiful. Let's see. We're using the keep it simple principles. Waiting for a new target to come in here. Entries, and then we need to wait for our targets to be set. Hope you're doing well, brother. I've just been looking at new phones because I had a call from the people that I get my contract from. Yeah, 1 hour time frame following daily bias. Beautiful, dude. Love it. 1 hour bias. Oh, I see it. It's clean. It's clean. Selling from here, right? Stop above the high, down to the low. Beautiful. Beautiful. And it took you like no time to analyze that. What's going on, Zafar? I'm doing great, my friend. How are you doing? Hopefully you're doing well. Morning, Andre. What's going on, brother? Hope you're well. Guys, lots of developments heading forwards on the bot. Lots of developments coming in. The bot is coming to life. It's coming to life. Unfortunately, I can't show you anything just yet. We're still in the real early stages, but it's coming. So it won't be long till we can start showing you some stuff. We're also going to be looking for some beta testers. We already have a couple of beta testers lined up. But if you want to be a part of the early access stuff, then of course join the shortlist. Looking forward to the bot. Yeah, so am I, dude. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. I'm thinking, depending on what kind of risk you set for the bot itself at any one time or any entry, I'm thinking you can run it on like 10 pairs. You can run it on like 10 pairs and just let it go flying with it. Because if you're using the 1 hour principle, like what Shotmaster used, you're not getting those entries every day. But you will get an opportunity to trade every other day. So if you have 10, you're going to have like positions, boom, 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 consistently. When? Everyone that's on the shortlist will give everybody an email. We'll create a group, because when you're on the shortlist, I know you're on the shortlist already, Zephyr, but when we start actually having updates and things set in stone, we'll send out an email to everyone to inform everyone as to what's happening and where we are with it and what we're looking to do next. So don't worry, you're in the loop. You're in the loop, my friend. Don't worry about that. I'm pretty sure it was this. Was it Chef? How do I get on the shortlist? Just head over to Discord, Andre, and then go to announcements. I'm gonna make a channel in the Discord. I'll call it like EA shortlist. Something like that. Euro also gave a really clean entry, which was here. The only problem with this is that it was a very large stop area and the targets were relatively close. So it looked more like a 1-to-1. I mean, obviously, if you go, oh, we take it all the way to the highest point possible, then a 3.5, but we're not doing that. That trade wasn't taken. It was given, but it wasn't taken. Let's go back to the 1 hour here. Okay. Yeah, I'll post the link actually, Andre. If you want the link, I'll post the link in the chat here. EA shortlist. There we go. And then I'll pin it. So I spoke to my partners at NetApp Investment, and they've officially opened their $1,000 investment, so 1,000 minimum investment scheme. So that's a go. It's pretty good. So I'll be having some more talks with them and getting some information for you guys in terms of what you're looking at for percentages and returns per month and all of the kind of things that you care about, you know, like the figures behind it. It's all good having a $1,000 minimum, but if you don't know the returns, etc., it's really irrelevant, isn't it? Going on, Akram, how are you doing? Hope you're well. So does anyone have any recommendations for potential mobile upgrades? I don't need anything crazy. I'm not massively into iPhones. Um, Looking for something that's going to be decent camera, good battery life, and just gives me the basic things, you know. I'm not looking for anything too wild. Because the guy on the phone was like, "Oh, you can get the Samsung 24X Pro tablet comes with a pen," and I was like, probably won't, but okay. Gold shorts this morning. Printing. I haven't looked at it, to be honest, but I will take a look at it in a minute. Wait for the Samsung 25 Ultra launching early next year. Yeah, see, this is the thing though, Andre. I don't really know if I want like the newest phone, you know? Only because I think I don't really use them, and I've got a really bad habit of, how would I say, breaking them. That's how I'd say it. I've got a really bad habit of breaking them. So like this Oppo I've dropped it a few times and I'm like, oh, it's fine. And I took the back off it and the back's cracked. And I'm like, if this was like a brand new Samsung, I'd be pissed. So I don't know. There was one of the offers they said was like, I can just downgrade not downgrade my contract, but downgrade the payments to like, I think it was like £18 a month or something, really cheap, like crazy cheap. And he was like, yeah, and you get this phone with it. You get it for free. He was like, we don't offer a contract on this phone, but you get this phone with it. And I was like, okay. And then I looked it up and it's pretty much the same as what I've got now, but it's just a different brand. It's like some Motorola something. I don't know what. But I was like, let me have a look because I kind of like the idea of having a good camera on your phone, you know? Whereas the phone that I've got now, the camera's not that great. It's all right. The best phone I've ever owned, right? The best phone I've ever owned, and a lot of people are shocked when I say this, but the best phone I've ever owned was the Huawei P30 Pro. That thing had the best camera, hands down, over any phone I've ever owned. The battery life would last me 2 days. 2 days without charging. That phone was insane. And it fell out of my pocket when I was on my bike and it smashed. So, yeah. I actually ended up selling it. But I got barely anything for it. But that was the best phone, to be honest. And if they, you know what, if they have that, I might even get that again. Because that was such a good phone. And even my partner, right? My partner, when I first met her, she was iPhone like fanatic. She's absolutely obsessed with just everything iPhone. She did not want anything except for an iPhone. So I was like, fine, you know, that's fine. I was like, but just do like a year's contract and just try the Huawei, right? She did it, and she still to this day says the worst thing she ever done was getting rid of that phone. It was like, it was so good. I loved it. It was amazing. And it really was such a great phone. The only phone I hate are iPhones. iPhone 16. Yeah, see, my partner's got an iPhone again, and my son's got an iPhone, and I just find them really, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I feel like they're really overpriced for what they are. What am I doing? I'm like scrolling through this here. Entry zone. There we go. Right. I think they're really overpriced for what they are. I think they sell the brand a lot, which is, you know, that's great. But in terms of pricing, etc., it's not really not really the way I want to rock. I did have a look. on their website. Google phone. You have an iPhone? Going on, Martin? Hope you're well. Google Pixel are the best. Yeah, see, my partner had a Google Pixel and she hated that thing. Split screen. Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm so used to all the little quirks of an Android. I'm so used to those quirks, you know, like just there's a lot of little things that I would miss if I didn't have that. Good day to you as well, my man. Let's just set an alert here. If it wants to give anything, I doubt it will, and then we can check back in on this shortly to see. Let's change the color of this to green. Change that to green. What is this? A daily. Choppy is the answer to that. So we can look here. Really low down, to be honest. But we can look here and here. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it really matters what phone I have, to be honest, because like I say, I don't really use it a huge amount. I use it for literally for calls, messaging, and then a little bit of social media, and that's it. The only other thing I use it for is the camera, so that's why I'm saying like the camera is like an important thing. So we've got the entry zone right here. We've got the target zone up here. This is CAD Chef, by the way. Pretty random pair, to be honest. My targets. This might be out of subject in trading here, but I know you're. I'm involved with OKLO and SMR. I'm not. I'm not even familiar with them. I'm not. I'm well out of that loop. I'm really out of that loop. Apart from like your mainstream sort of Bitcoin, Ethereum. I don't know where Doge is here, but XRP. I've got Quorum and Solargenic. I was about to say Solarum. Solargenic. Because they were airdropped to me. Like I got a few thousand of them that were airdropped to me. Nuclear energy, right. Yeah. So I've heard there's quite a few things going on in the nuclear energy sector lately. So I know that there's definitely some opportunities coming up for those. So let's have a look at those assets on here. So one of them is OK Yellow. Is that going to come up on here? This one? Wait, do they have tradable pairs? Bitcoin going to crash hard at the election? Yeah, possibly. Jesus. That's some gains right there. Is this the pair that we're looking at? Is this what we're talking about? Some information. It depends on the outcome. Yeah, that's true. That's true. It does depend on the outcome. Yeah. Yeah. Either crash or moon. Bitcoin will explode, in my opinion. Breaks resistance. I believe it will. I think it's going to go up. I don't think it matters what way it goes in terms of the election. The reason I say that is because it will only be a short-term effect. The reason I say that as well is because the dollar really is going to weaken, I believe. If Kamala gets in office, then the dollar's going to weaken. Now, again, I'm not massive into politics, but I always believe that if you have somebody that's running for president or to be in any position of power, if they've already had some significant time as an influential member of that particular, whether it's like a company or a mayor of somewhere or whatever, she's been sort of influential within that office for 3.5 years, and everything's been going pretty badly. So I don't believe anything will change if she gains more power. Again, I'm not a politician. I'm not really massive into US politics. I don't really care what happens, to be honest. I always think about it like this. Data doesn't lie. So if you pull up the data from the period that Trump was in power, the economy was strongest than ever. They had record lows in the jobless claims. They had record lows in the unemployment. They had record highs in earnings. That speaks for itself. That's the way a country should be run. Population first, not policy first. So that's the main thing that I always think about. But again, it's one of those things where you can fudge an election. You know, the illusion of choice is a very strong and powerful tool. It's like I saw a short on YouTube the other day of a guy that done e-commerce. He was heavily into e-commerce, and he said the strongest marketing tactic he has is the illusion of choice. And what they'll do is they'll have a product, they'll run the product at, for example, $10, and then they'll have fake accounts that will comment on that post and say, I can get it for cheaper, and then they'll post a link somewhere else, and then they'll have another person that's also fake saying, oh no, I can get it cheaper, and then all the people that are in the comments saying this is overpriced, and they find all these other people saying I can get it cheaper. The guy that runs the whole channel is in charge of those bots. So it's the illusion of, oh, I'm getting it at a better price, I'm getting it at a better, from someone else, when in reality you're just buying from the same person but at a slightly lower cost. So I think it's the same with an election. It doesn't matter who gets in charge. I think it's just an illusion of choice. It's kind of like voting is like giving an adult one of those pretend wheels that you give your kids, and we all think we're driving. We don't control shit. We don't control anything. You give your kid a little fake steering wheel, and they're like, yes, I'm driving, when it's just the illusion of that they are actually in control. That's just my personal view anyway. I'm relatively open-minded in terms of being proven wrong, but, it's one of those, what are you going to do, right? What are you going to do? Agree with you 100%. Well, yeah. I mean, it's one of those. I see here exactly what I'm saying, that everyone waiting for Bitcoin to moon after Trump win. But if that's true, ain't big money would like Bitcoin cheaper price, a potential like Nasdaq, CPI under 3. Yeah. I think as well that in terms of the Bitcoin thing, what we've got to remember, let's just go and have a look at the Bitcoin chart so we can reference this. I've said this so many times to people, so many times. Let's go daily or weekly. Let's just get rid of all of this stuff because we don't really need any of this. So, right after we had the pandemic was over here, right? March 2020, and then price absolutely skyrocketed. Now, the mainstream media done an amazing job of creating a pretty large scale FOMO. I'm not saying that they're completely in control of this principle, but they had a pretty good factor. You can go back and look at this. It's documented. But when Bitcoin was traveling up, excuse me, massively like this, nothing was said until it hit these sort of all-time high levels. Okay, so they'd done it a little bit here, but they mainly did their work here. Okay, from this little dip up to the all-time high, because as soon as you break another all-time high, everyone loses their shit and everyone thinks it's crazy time. It must be. So what happens is, excuse me, while prices are low, no one's really interested in buying. Big money are buying up. No one's really interested. As soon as it gets into this high region here, it was all over the news. Bitcoin skyrocketing, making young people millionaires, making people thousands, millions. They didn't document on it down here. They documented it up here. So what happened is, let's say, 60% of external buyers, so people that wouldn't normally buy, they're external to the market, they all got in at the highest point, and then price dumped, causing this 60% to ultimately be liquidated. Unless you're going to plow money into your crypto account, you're going to get an email saying your positions will need to be liquidated, or you're going to have to subsidize X amount. And most people have already invested what they can anyway, so they're not going to pile money back in and possibly see it drop all the way down. So a lot of people got taken out. So big money then chose the same principle that they always do, which is buy low. They bought it low, right? And then when it started cruising back up again in this top section here, the mainstream media done exactly the same thing, and they started going crazy again with Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. Everyone and their dog ignored it when it was at a good price, and they bought it when it was at a ridiculously high price. And then over the next few months, you see this huge market crash. Everyone's like, Bitcoin's going to zero. Whoa, 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 whoa. Everyone, you guys must remember this. Bitcoin was it was going down for so long. Everyone's like, it's such a waste of money. You're just throwing your money away. You're blowing your cash into nothing. Da 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 da. And then it got to a really good price, and then everyone bought again. Now, you should not be worried about Bitcoin coming down, okay, unless you are buying in the upper areas here. If you're buying in the upper areas, your margin for failure is much larger. Now, much smaller. But the principle here is, whenever you have an event like the election, everyone is going to get, everyone that's bought at poor prices, so sort of 40k and above, is going to get liquidated out of the market, and everyone's going to go, oh, it's back down to 20k, it's such a scam, take your money out. And when you hand over your positions, big money, like what you're saying here, Akram, big money goes, thank you, I'll take that. I'll accumulate those positions. We've also got to remember that the Fed, the US government, have a very large holding of Bitcoin as well. So they are just as inclined to see it fall as anyone else. So keep that principle in mind, the way that the media and the whole, I don't really know what to blanket it as, the propaganda machine, if you want to call it that. They're very good at making bad investment opportunities look like good ones. And they don't tell you to invest because that would be, illegal. But they do make it very obvious that you're missing out on something. And they're very, very good at doing that. So this is why, going back to what we were saying before, I believe that there is going to be a drop-off either way. But the way it returns is going to be the difference. How it comes back and the speed it comes back is going to be the difference. I still think that there will be some event that happens pre-election. When is the election? Because being in the UK and not really being too in tune with the election, I just sort of stick my head in on it every so often. When is the election? I don't even know when it is. I know that it's the thing. I'm like, I know when it's near or whatever. I feel like it's been building up to it for the last 5 years. It seems like as trader, we just need to market to move, because the move price makes us paid. Exactly. Yeah. Without market volatility, you have nothing. Exactly. Yeah, so when is the election? Does anyone know? Well, I know someone is going to know, so let me know. Let me know when it is. Ay. All right, let's My son's eating porridge now, and he's only 4.5 months old, but he's eating like baby porridge. And now he's realised that things that go in your mouth taste good, and he likes food. Whenever we're eating something, he sits there going like 5th of November. Oh damn. They're really close then. He sits there looking at you, like moving his mouth up and down, as if to say, like, yeah, I'll have some of that. And I'm thinking, the second he's old enough to eat anything more than baby porridge, it's done for me. There's no more food that I'm ever going to have myself. Everything is going to be consumed by the little vacuum. Does anyone have any pairs you want me to look at? Anyone have any? Oh yeah, and that's 100. I was saying this earlier. This is a pair that I don't know what just happened to my screen. Okay, this is a pair that has valid entries and then still valid targets. We know it's super expansive, so the potential there is quite high. Get this onto the screen here. Okay, let's have a look. A GA hidden targets. Okay, cool. Remember, guys, if you're not already a member of the Discord, then the link for that is in the description. Check GJ. Yeah, I gave a long position out on GJ yesterday, and it didn't tap us in. It's such a shame because that had huge potential for expansion there. The new entries on this, if you're following the 4-hour principle, is quite far away, to be honest. It's good to see GJ moving nicely again, though. Good to see it. Major high there. Look at this. This is going to be a point to watch. If we could see something like this, and back down into this area, then follow up into the highs again. But at the same time, I think it could actually give a longer term move to the downside here. See how we have targets here? That was when we were moving down really aggressively. We had lows as the targets, and we skimmed that target, then we shifted bullish. I haven't updated the large time frame in a little while. Okay, let me see. Remember, guys, if you are on LinkedIn, if you have a LinkedIn account, then head over there and give me a little connection. I'll be happy to connect with you guys. If you're not already a subscriber, then hit that subscribe button. We're trying to hit 3K by the end of the year. I reckon we can. We're at 2.95 at the moment, so we're only looking at like 50 subscriptions, which is pretty small in the grand scheme of things. And of course, if you think you know someone that will enjoy this stream as much as you are, then give it a little share, give it a little thumbs up. All that stuff helps us a million. You know how it is. We really do appreciate it. Also, new branding colors come in for PSS. You've probably noticed it with the thumbnails that we've sort of changed up the way that the branding looks. It's a lot more simplistic and there's a lot less to it. It's a lot more noticeable. So we are going to be doing a little bit of a switch up. The logo is staying the same. Obviously, the logo is pretty recognizable. Oh, I actually found as well, I was clearing some stuff out in the office, and I actually found an original PSS hat. An original one, still with the labels on and stuff. Let me find it. 1 second. Fine, I'm going to take a picture of it and show you guys. The original PSS cap with the original logo. Trying to short GJ for a pullback. Not a successful try. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, it's so bullish. Like, it's so bullish. This is the higher target that we have on GJ. Same as UJ, we have higher targets on UJ. One of them's just here. It's not actually marked for some reason. Yeah, just be cautious on that. It's the same with Euro. I'm pretty sure the bias on Euro is like heavy to the upside. Yeah, it's still 91% long bias. 91% long bias. 18,000. Sorry, not 18,000. 182,000 positions long and 20,000 positions short. And it's the same with GU. That's a 75% long bias. I don't know where these people are longing from, but they're longing somewhere. Okay, so going to be another one of those streams where there's not a huge amount going on here. See if we come down, take this out. Potential for that. Let's have a look at the phones here. The Motorola Razr. I remember that shit from when I was like I was like back in school when Motorola Razr. My gosh. They were great phones back in the day. Super slimline. Guys, you remember a time, right? It's made me laugh because me and my partner were looking through old pictures yesterday, and we kept finding pictures of ourselves like when we were younger. And do you remember there was a time when phones didn't have cameras on the front? They didn't have cameras on the front. Like, you were lucky if you had a camera on the back. So everyone's profile pictures was always them holding a phone in the mirror, which was hilarious now you think back about it. Don't know where they came from. The stats of traded commitment looking like multiple brokers positions. If so, how they track it. It's my funded, not my funded. It's my FX books. So I'm not sure where they get their stats from. So it says here data is based on verified real accounts verified real accounts only, and is refreshed every 60 seconds. So I'm guessing it's the accounts registered to my FX books. That's the long and short of what they say at the bottom there. It says they have it also says here that they have that's lot size. That's irrelevant. That doesn't make any sense. So yeah, I don't know how they're calculating it, but that's what it looks like. Morel, what's going on? Good morning. Just added you on LinkedIn. Okay, nice, man. Let me Reason for GU EU continuous fall. Also, Dixie is very bullish. Yeah, Dixie's very bullish. But the reason we're seeing these fall is just, I mean, there is the main fundamental reason is because the strength of the dollar. But in a technical standpoint, if you go to the daily time frame, okay, and we delete, or we're not delete, but we remove all drawings, okay, and this is, again, you can go and learn this exact principle completely free with the Keep It Simple series. Have a look. When we create a space on a larger time frame, this can be applied to the daily, like multiple days or weeks, whatever you want. This gap opens up and we go bearish for a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Then we see a bullish push and we create a bullish gap. After this bullish gap, we go bullish for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All the way up here, right? Until we make this gap. And then the same principle applies. Look at the way we only go bearish for... We only go bearish for like what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And we have a short bullish push to the upside, small bearish move, 2 days of bearish price action, bullish gap, and we do the same thing. From here, we made a bearish gap, and we've only continued to make bearish gaps. Now, based off of that principle, if you go to the weekly time frame, you can see the same thing happening. Where we open a gap, we have a small a space open. Then we have I would say that's probably bullish. So you would have been technically wrong on the weekly bias here. But you create that space, and from there, bias is bullish, you go bullish. Make the bearish gap, and the same thing happens. We're running bearish for 1, 2, 3 weeks now. So in terms of that, I'm not expecting any pullback for this. We've just taken this major low, which could give us a little bit of a push to the upside. Now, I'd be looking towards the hourly for a potential shift here. Now, if we see price action come up and create a gap, I would say that we're going to run back into some of these highs. I would love to see that. You're also seeing some weakness for Euro and GBP, also driving price even lower. You can have a look at that in terms of the fundamentals behind it. If you go over to like Financial Juice or something like that, you can find a lot of information on that. I'm not, unfortunately, the person to give you that information. But you can just go over to Financial Juice, for example, and type GBP. And then when you search that, it will come up with all of the stuff relevant to that. So remember, guys, if you're not already a member of the Discord, you can join with the link down below. If you do want to join the shortlist for our automatic trading bot, then you can also do that by clicking the link that is actually being applied by the Stream Elements bot right now. And it's also at the top of the chat pinned. You can do that by filling out your short information form. And as soon as there is any information with a true deadline on the bot, you will be the first person to know. You'll also be entitled to a discount on release, and we are going to be giving the bot away free to some of the shortlist members. Yes, so this is NAS 100. NAS 100 right here. This is the 4-hour principle. So we have these lows, which are going to serve as liquidity. Well, they might not, but that's the way I'm looking at them right now. We can see price pushing down, taking a low out, and then we'll aim for these highs. Exactly as what we did before. When we came down, we took out these lows. Then we pushed right up into the highs, and we've not taken any lows since. But we've consistently taken highs. So the same principle is going to apply. Wait for the lows to be taken. Then we know the conversion of stop losses to buy orders is being created, and then we can look to follow that principle. It's exactly the same as the setup we gave out on GJ yesterday. We waited for sell stops to be taken and then buyers to step in. Exactly the same as G Chef. We waited for sell stops to be taken off of this low. Then we waited for buyers to step in. Price ran. Now in this case, it's not expanding as heavily as the other pairs did. And it's exactly the same as GA. We gave all these out in the Discord as well, by the way. Sell stops were taken. Then we wait for buyers to step back in. We're now running up through these highs. What were those areas of sell stops? They were hourly lows. I actually have that as well. I didn't even notice that. I mean, it's kind of irrelevant, but it's there. And it takes them out. Then price runs high. The same thing's happening. Why are we looking at this? Well, it's because there's a gap here on the daily, which tells us it's most likely going to run bullish for a longer period of time. And until we see a reason to change our mind on that, we're going to continue to follow it, because only large institute can create spaces like that on a large time frame. You are going to have the odd exception where you have, for example, fundamentals driving that movement, but it's still backed by big liquidity. Remember, if you want to learn every aspect of that, and we teach you exactly how to do it in the Keep It Simple series, you can head over to the playlist and watch the whole thing in just over an hour. So a 5-part series going from nothing to pretty much a usable system. You can learn in just over an hour. Remember to share that as well to anybody that you know it may be struggling with their bias. Maybe they're just struggling to get to grips with the principles of the market as a whole. Morel, by the way, I couldn't see you on LinkedIn. I didn't see you. Do you only trade CFDs or futures too? I trade CFDs. I do trade futures sometimes, but it's very rare. Very rare. Just because unless you use like a futures specific account, it can actually end up being not as cost efficient. So remember, guys, if you are making your own private account and you're using your own equity, your own funds, then you should pick a good broker to do that with. And who better to do it with than someone that I've used for nearly 2.5 years now. You can look in the description, you'll find the link to Ross-rfx. Very well-known broker, very large broker, consistent with deposits, withdrawals, spreads, low slippage, low commissions, low swaps. Generally great brokers. So if you are looking to fund your own account, then you can do it with that link down below, knowing that they have been tested and used. It's not just they pay me money, so do it. No, that's not the case. I get a small bonus if you sign up through my link. That's it. But I wouldn't condone anything that I haven't already proven myself. Let's get rid of that. We don't need that. What's going on, Jack? How you doing? Morning to you. Is there like only 8 likes here? Simply baffling. I don't know, dude. That like button's hard to find nowadays, you know? It's tricky. Let's see morale. Okay, yeah, I see you, my dude. I see you. There you go, man. Just crack the market with the Keep It Simple system. I would like to say it is definitely a, how would I say, a market cracking system, I suppose you could say. The reason I say that is it's not that it's the holy grail. There is no holy grail. We all know this. We've got to be we've got to be realistic. We all know there's no holy grail. Nothing's 100% hit rate. You know, nothing gives you a trade every single day of the week. But what it does is it really separates your human mind It separates your human mind and the market, which are two things that don't belong together. This is why, unfortunately, the collective of the trading world sits on the downwards curve, unfortunately, because of that. People separate. They struggle to separate the human emotions from the market themselves. You brought all the concepts together, and now I'm stupidly consistent. Jack, that's awesome, dude. Really good, man. Love it. That is great to hear. God bless you as well, my man. God bless you as well. I believe the trader is the holy grail. Yeah, I think it's half and half. It's the concept completely solid. Yeah, true. It's a bit of both. It's a bit of both. You can have a super, headstrong trader, but if you're giving them a system that, even for a second, makes them doubt their own, their own faith in the system, that's when you start to see problems. Bro, you've cracked it. God's grace, I'm beginning to blaze through this thing. Yeah, do it, dude. That's what we love. What we love. The main thing. And this is what I've always said. I'm not here to sell you a £20 million course. I'm not here to tell you have to join my exclusive VIP in Discord. I'm not here to tell you that you have to pay for me to mentor you one-to-one. I'm not here to tell you guys to pay for anything. I will teach you as we go. Now, you're not going to be able to get my undivided attention 24 hours a day. But I'm going to help you guys out as much as I can. My job is to be the mentor that I needed when I was starting out. I got chucked from pillar to post, believing all of the Instagram gurus, believing the fake withdrawal guys, that I flipped $500 to $50K in a month sort of thing. I believed all of that BS. Unfortunately, that stuff sells. So I'm not here to sell anything, what I said. But like I said before, if you want to be mentored by me, it's an option. If you want to create an account through our affiliate link, you can. If you want to be a VIP in the Discord, you can. It's all optional. You are gonna see, of course, accelerated progression through those things. But if you really want to, you can do it completely free. That's the beauty of it. When I first started learning, I read a lot. There is no holy grail. I'm fine going to make myself the holy grail of rules and discipline. Exactly. That's it. But like I said before, the system plays a factor into that personal holy grail. Because it's kind of like having a really good diet, but then not exercising, or exercising loads and having a bad diet. They both go hand in hand with each other. The entries down here. I'm just going to delete these. We don't need to see those. And this is the thing as well. If having a system that gives you the mindset that you have found the key makes you behave the way you should in the market, then that's in itself is a big thing, right? When you said you need the MMs to step in and step out, you see this with their orders, the order blocks. This concept brings all SMC ICT concepts together in a simple, consistent process. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing. This is why I've always said I'm more blessed than just having my son in my life, because my son he's only 4 months into my life, but he, even before he was born, he was the driving factor behind me stepping back and not trading for like a month. Not really being around on YouTube, not really being around in the Discord, not being around at all, because I was too focused on, I need to find a way that I can sacrifice time now to then give and provide myself with time in the future. And ultimately, it came down to the point where I said to myself, what is the key element? What is the key element, that I can use that works consistently across multiple time frames, that has pretty much zero analysis to go behind it, that has all of the stuff that we need to trade consistently. And it always boiled down to, what are we trying to do in the market? This was the question. What are we trying to do in the market? Well, we're trying to follow the big guys. Okay, cool. What is the one thing that they can't do in the market without having a visible effect? What's the one thing I can't do? Is buy or sell, right? They can't do it without us seeing it. So what is the way that we see it? Yes, they create structure, but that happens after the fact. Yes, they create order blocks, but that also happens after the fact. Fair value gaps and the inconsistencies between buyers and sellers happen as they're doing it, when they're doing it. On a higher time frame, they are the only people that can create these spaces. Those spaces lead us to what they're doing now, not what they're going to do in a month or what they're going to do in a minute or in an hour. It leads us to what they're doing now. And of course, the way you perceive it and the time frames you apply it to give you different perceptions of what they're doing at a given time. Now, I'll pull the data up 1 second. Across 90 days, I tested show you. I tested on Forex Tester back in 2018. I tested 92 days, I believe it is. Yeah, 92 days. Oop. And you can see the probability is around 60%, give or take. So it's not like the 100% hit rate always going to give you an entry, but it consistently will give good returns across the space of a longer period of time. And this is why when you look at it here and it says 0.83 trades per day, that means it's going to take you 3 days in some cases to get a trade. Now, of course, every pair is going to be different, and there's many factors that you bring into it. But it's always important that you've got to think about yourself in terms of, how much time am I spending? How much time am I wasting? And then how can you sort of level that out? How can you find the equilibrium? Appreciate the kind words, Jack. I really do appreciate it. Proud dad? Yeah, I'm super proud. He's a great kid. He's actually like the golden child as well. Since 7 weeks. So since 7 weeks old, he sleeps all the way through the night. He goes to bed. Once he's asleep, he does not wake up. He doesn't wake up till like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning, which is very unheard of in terms of babies. Maybe it clicked for me because my serious work in SMC, but still was not consistent. Yeah, exactly. $1 million concept clearly got given. Yeah, I mean, there was something that happened during that time of me taking a break, and happened for the right reasons. Must apologize though. I was going through it. So frustrated when I left a bad comment about how your delivery was pedantic. I don't even think I don't think I remember seeing that. I don't think I remember. I mean, look, it doesn't matter. I'm not I'm not one to hold grudges. You guys know me. I'm pretty honest. I'm pretty sincere. I'm not somebody that's going to see something negative and be upset about it. Thanks for coming, bro. See you in Discord. Yeah, of course, man. No problems. Have a great one. See you soon. So, yeah, gold is just floating around there. NAS doing the same thing. UChef pushing up. UJ absolutely skyrocketing right now. GJ, so the Japanese yen is pushing up really, really heavy. Oil's been kind of choppy, I believe. It's been kind of chopping back and forth a little bit. Dude, you don't have to apologize. I really, it's whatever. I don't, everyone goes through their own thing. But yeah, I'm not one to hold a grudge, so don't be worried. Okay, so we took it out here, and the first gap that we made was here. It's the first bearish gap right there. And price literally sold off from there, which is so clean. Not that it's something I've been watching, because I haven't. You can see there's nothing locked up on here. But that's a good illustration there. You were like this one here. Get rid of that. Remember, the targets are still in the lows here. For oil, targets are down low. Here and here. Yeah, let's see if we can get the if we can get that pushed down into these lows. Let's see. It's honestly quite an ugly chart, to be fair. Nothing too crazy going on there. GU melting. Got to remember the 2021 vibes. Hit all-time low. And you got that monster trade. Yeah, that was a monster trade. That was like a 6-month trade, right? That was a 6-month trade. I remember actually someone posted something further up about selling GU. Oh, and also, which one of the mentors you think are legit? For my opinion, Trader Dane. Best though, I don't. But I haven't really looked. Oh, Shortmaster. By the way, there was also an entry on the 1 hour time frame on GU. I'm actually in this trade. Let's see. That's disgusting. That's disgusting. See, this is what I love, right? Shortmaster spent an hour and a bit of his life, maybe a bit longer, I don't know, watching the series, and he's just come into the chat and been like, "Oh, by the way, I'm trading this position right here, which ultimately, if you take it to the low, is a 5.7." And all he's done is looked at the chart, gone, bearish fair value gap. Where did it start? Okay, cool. Where's the high? There. Okay, where's the low? Here. Trade. That's it. Nothing else has got into that. It's the simplest trade you could take. Now, of course, if you're using just that simple principle, you may have taken a trade here, which would have ended up as a loss. But that's again going to fall into the probability across a longer period of time, not the consistency of a system over the space of a day. Yeah, I mean, let's go back to GU. Where does it hit the all-time low? That was way down. Oh my lord. Yeah, down here. Holy sugar. That's a big drop off too, right? Oh, that's coronavirus. Yeah. Remember, we are long-term bearish on this pair. I'd be interested to see what it looks like on like the monthly chart. I haven't looked. Let's just see. Okay, so it made a gap here, and then it was bullish monthly. What about weekly? Bullish. Bullish, bullish, bullish. So we could see some really low pricing here. We could see price coming way back down into the 2.8 levels. Definitely potential for that. There's a lot of unmitigated lows across here as well, which could easily act as liquidity for to further downside. There's some real key indicators here that we could be going a lot lower. But again, we've been calling this short from here, the 2nd of October, and it's been consistently dropping since then. So if you're in this stream, you will only be looking to sell this puppy down. I'd like to think anyway. And if you're not, that's fine. Go average out long term. Yeah, exactly. Take it easy, Akram. Bye now, you go. Okay, so a chef has come down to this low. That's a pretty aggressive melting move right there. We can take a look and see if this creates a space to the upside. At the moment, it's not looking great, but not all trades look good before they actually become the entry, right? While we're waiting for this, I'm just going to grab a coffee and then we'll jump straight back into it. So while I'm away, don't hesitate. Ask each other, what you're looking at. Put some questions in the chat. Requests, all that good stuff. Check out the links down below. I'll be back in a minute. And we're back. We back. Okay. Right, so we're just waiting to see if this reacts at this low here. Low over here. I mean, we're not too worried if it doesn't. Got alerts set on everything else, right? Euro blast down. EU also blasting down. What happens here? Gold shorts coming in nice. Let's see if we can take out the low. Do we have an alert on this? No. That's 100 also. We're just sort of waiting for that. You know, nothing too crazy in terms of what we're looking at for the longer term move. Yeah. Holy moly. That is dropping. Let me go over to financial juice here. There must be. Yeah, here we go. So the European Central Bank is saying that 50 basis points could be on the table. Then current data doesn't justify 50 basis points, but some of them are saying that it's on the table. That's just for euro. Japanese yen is weakening right up as well, which is causing all of the JPYs to go flying. Euro dipping. Take out this low. I believe we will because that's pretty. We're gonna go. Over to GA here. Taking out both of the short-term targets. We're looking for it to run up into the long-term highs. Phone call, guys. 1 second. Sorry about that, guys. That's just my mother asking me for directions. The sat-nav's taking me a weird way. So, sorry about that one. Shot Mastermind, how you go, brother? Take it easy. And if you're still there, Shotmaster, which I believe you're probably not, post some of your trades in the Discord. Definitely share with the others, because there's a lot of people in there that see things and you know, they don't act on them when good, you know, missed opportunity. Remember, guys, the shortlist is out. If you want to join the shortlist, you can. Okay. What mobile? What mobile? That is the question. Remember, guys, every single time we look at a pair, we're looking at the same principles. We're looking at the same thing. We're not expecting anything to change until we see a valid reason to expect that. We don't chop and change our biases based off how we feel. Okay, so we're going to run this stream for another 15 minutes and we're going to head over to the Discord, where we're going to be going into the VIP only floor where the VIPs can join and converse and share ideas, etc. But of course, you can just wait for the next free stream to be available, which will be tomorrow. Or if you would like to join the VIP, you can. You can find the link for that down below, or you can find information on it in the Discord itself. Okay, right. Going on here. Can't I find here? There we go. That's better. Cool. So, as I said before, guys, if trading a prop firm's not your thing and you know, doing all of the kind of things that they make you do in terms of rules, etc., is not your thing, you can always open your own account with a trusted broker. And you can find the link for our trusted broker in the description down below. Also looking at possibly streaming on a couple of different platforms. We did speak about this yesterday, to broaden out the audience a little bit. $12 likes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Gold is heading down. Yep. Only short little move here, but yeah, it's definitely heading down. I've got an alert set on this low and this low. Any other setups that anyone's looking at? Bum, ba, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, bum, ba, ba, bum, ba. Yeah. See if we can get to 15 likes. We're one like away. See if we can get to 15. I'm sure we can. Yeah, that is such a disgusting sell move on Euro. Absolutely disgusting. So the U-Chef targets looks like it's about to get hit again. Just any high it puts in, it's just like, boom, I'll take that. Boom, I'll take that. Every single time. Delete these. We don't need these on UJ anymore. Very awesome. Then when Euro, just selling, selling, selling. Remember, if you are new to the stream and you're unsure as to what we're looking at, how we're doing this, just head over to the Keep It Simple playlist and you'll be able to follow every single thing that I do on this chart with minimal effort. So when we're seeking prices like this, so we're just seeking lower, 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 we can't even put a target on it. There's no point trying to put a target on it. Let it roll. Remember, until there's targets for us to aim for, it becomes an untradeable asset for us anyway. So we just let it do its thing. um, see. Let's. Right. Getting to that time, guys. We're going to wrap up the last few minutes here with just some words of wisdom from myself. So, whenever you have a day like this, or a week like this, for example, where we've only had like a couple trades this week, one of them being a losing trade on gold because we took an hourly sweep rather than a 4-hourly, you don't rush into the next day any differently than you would the day before or the day before that. Without the consistent approach on a day in and day out basis, you're never going to have that consistent analysis and consistent mindset. So it's all about approaching each day with the same principle. Approach it with the same attitude, which is if the market gives me a trade, then I will take it. If it doesn't, then I will simply find something else to do with my time. Fortunately, this is a pretty hard one for a lot of people to actually stomach. But you don't have to actively trade every day. This is why trading is such a time lucrative business, because it gives you a whole load more time to do what you want to do. So make the most of that time when it gives it to you. Apart from that, guys, everybody that's watched the Keep It Simple series and seen an improvement in themselves, well done to you for putting in the time to actually learn and prosper from that. Everyone that is in the live stream right now, I appreciate you all massively. If you haven't already, you know what to do. Hit that like button and so on. I will see you all in tomorrow's live stream, and if you are a VIP member, I will see you in the VIP trading floor in around 30 minutes time. Peace and love, guys. Have a great rest of your day, and remember, always follow your plan.